For anyone that maybe didn't see it, earlier today, Kyla posted a video on her channel covering the best Musk deer hotspots here on Medved-Taiga, and I saw it as a perfect opportunity, having not hunted Medved since the update, to try him out and see what we could find. And I've been promised something cool, a diamond or a rare, otherwise I get to shoot the first deer this year in real life. That last part wasn't actually true, no such promises were made, but we are going to be checking out some of these hotspots, and I don't think we'll get to all of them, especially given the fact that we are at one of the first ones, and there are a ton of musk deer out here. So if you do want to watch the entire video, I'll have that linked in the cards in the top right, as well as down in the description. So if you want to watch the whole thing, you can click on one of those spots. But we have actually with us today the 223 AR. It's a rare opportunity to actually take that on a hunt and use it as the primary weapon. So we'll go ahead and pop that first musk deer, and we'll see what else might run out of here. There was only the one male that I saw, but I thought there was a male warning call on the way up through here. There's two more over there, one male and one female, and maybe that was the one that actually had the warning call, but I wanted to take this one. It was a minimum weight estimate, pretty high score estimate, so not going to be like Hall of Shame or anything, but a decent little start here at what is definitely not one of the better spots that was shown in the video, but 71.7, I'm surprised it even was a silver, actually a good bit above silver, but just left lung from the 223. I wonder if soft points would be a better option. Maybe we'll switch to that as we're having tripods and tents go down as we go through. So, full disclosure, I have been seeing Kyla hunting musk deer for probably a couple of months now, and she's been mentioning that I should go out and hunt them, and I've seen just from her playtime on this map just how good it is, but to experience it firsthand, it is incredible how much better musk deer hunting is now than it used to be. I mean, you had from about 5 to 7 if you wanted to hunt them in the daylight, and you never saw musk deer in groups like this. And the crazy thing is not just initial spawns, it would seem. Based on her single player grinds, they seem to kind of stay all stacked in some of these areas, so I'm actually looking forward to some of this. I really like the musk deer rares, all of them look good. Melanistic, albino, and especially the piebald. We had, I think, on our musk deer grind for a diamond, maybe one albino and a couple of piebalds that were rather small. I'd love the opportunity to maybe get some bigger rares, and if we could add another diamond or two to the lodge, that is something that would be pretty neat as well. But double lung and heart on our first max weight estimate musk deer of the hunt, and we shot this other one in here in the heart as well. Probably it is important to mention we still are not actually at one of the good hotspots yet. Even like the kind of fringe ones, the ones that maybe aren't so good, are still loaded with musk deer, but I think when we get to this lake, we're going to see a little bit of a change. This might actually be the most ridiculous lake I've ever seen. They are all around here. At like literally every spot, there is a musk deer somewhere on this lake, and I feel compelled to like not shoot things yet and just try to spot and make sure we don't miss any. So far, all kind of lower end males, but then again, there's so many over here that there could be something better. I guess what we can do is try to take one of these ones maybe over in here. I didn't even see all of these yet. There's a ton of them here, and there's at least a couple males over there. None of them look to be all that big either. Which one do we want to go for? Maybe, do any of these have like a decent gold estimate? This one's the only one that definitely goes over gold. And even I think compared to the ones over on that side, that's at least the one with the best shot. So let's go ahead and take him. The ones that are over there far enough aren't even going to hear it. Bit of a tough angle, but even with the 223, I think we can get him brought down. Not sure if that's going to be a lung or like 2 liver shots or what that ends up being. But that's something that was just never, ever possible on this map. You could get like a lot of musk deer here, but you'd have reindeer and brown bears and stuff in there as well, which just kind of naturally, I think, limited how many musk deer could be at this lake. That is ridiculous, and there's still more that we haven't actually spotted. I want to say that like the snow is making the fur look a little bit odd at a distance there, but just in case, maybe we'll take that one too in case it would be like a piebald. I don't think it is, but there's enough around here that it wouldn't shock me if I accidentally like didn't notice it. Now we can see it is that kind of gray-brown variation, but we do actually have to be careful. I don't know what I last hunted on Medved. It's been so long since we were here, I couldn't even begin to hazard a guess, but I don't want to make too much pressure. I assume, you know, if we did delete zones, probably most of them would come back here when you get this many animals in one spot. Often that is the case, but I don't think it's something we want to mess with. I mean, it's a really good spot that's probably not worth, you know, a couple extra musk deer to end up maybe hurting it. But we'll go ahead and grab our very much common musk deer that was at least a gold at 187, and we'll jump to one of the next spots. I might have a slight little addendum here. Quite a lot of musk deer at this hidden lake. Now, most of them appear to be female. There's a couple males back in there too. That one's a level 2, and that was actually a decent level 2. So this is another hidden lake, and I used to have a tripod here. Wouldn't be surprised if I got the beaver message where the tree falls on my tripod and removes that, but it's a spot that in the past used to have a lot of musk deer, reindeer, and brown bear, and at least on the musk deer front, that seems to still be the case. So we'll pop that with the 223 as well. And it's this little spot down here, just kind of to the west of the far southeast outpost out here in this little corner. So good spot definitely to check out, and one that, again, is not so obvious. There's this hidden lake up here, which is a little more obvious now that we have the drink zones, and this one, when you don't have any drink zones there, is hard to actually spot it. But at least I think another gold added to the list, of 195 that time. Even again, going back to when we were doing the musk deer grind, I only did a couple of videos on that because I felt that it was fairly repetitive. If we got like 3-4 golds for the entire hunt, it was an especially good one. That really is no longer the case with musk deer either. There is no shortage of quality musk deer out here. Well, unfortunately, my musk deer luck seems to be the same as it's always been. So that right there, a level 2 female musk deer, is max weight. It's going to weigh 17 kg or maybe like 16.99. We have, on this hunt thus far, seen yet again more max weight females than males, but this even still is fairly rare. Are they suddenly leaving? No, these are a completely different set. Alright, so about 250 out. We'll see if we can maybe make that shot. Still not too sure where they're trying to go, but I think with the 223 at least, it's still zeroing for 300 is more accurate at 250. That said, it's not going down as quickly as I'd like. We maybe actually hit closer to the spine, but even still, it is just a heavyweight female. That is a spine shot. I wonder if we have time to maybe save it? Would be tough to actually get into a lung. Hard to say if we did, but I mean, at least we hit it again. And we have at least another minimum weight estimate. There are a ton of males here though as well. I want to see what that one is. There's some like good ones again, you know, up into the mid 220s, but none since that, I think, first spot where we've seen a 14 to 17 kg estimate. But maybe we can be a little bit more careful with our shot placement. Try to take down that really low scoring one again, and that was just fine. He's going down real quick. But then as for this female musk deer, it is right on 17.00 kg, so max weight. And I guess that wasn't as far as I thought, about 214. Maybe the 223 AR does zero properly. The 223 and the 243 bolt actions, if you zero for 300, they're more accurate at 250. And then this shot, also too high. I'm going to say that is the case though, because we aimed lower than that, but we were zeroed for 300, kind of thinking it worked like the other guns. So that is good to know, and good to know our musk deer luck kind of is the same as it's always been. We had that with our diamond grind as well. We had a max weight female before getting a level 3. I'm hopeful though, given the amount of musk deer that are around here, if we continue up through here, maybe we'll have something good waiting on us. And then once again, a minimum weight Esmo, and this one is a bronze at 52.1. Lung liver actually that time at 250, so I guess that 223 is a lot more flat shooting than the other. I don't know if I ever did test that, but good to know that now before we find something special. Ooh, that's a really nice estimate. So at least another max weight male, but he is unfortunately fleeing. So I think that was a good shot. We actually for whatever reason, on Mustier never hit that properly, but that time we did. Level 2 Diamond Mustier, as far as I know, are still a thing. I can't remember even having seen one posted in the community in quite some time, but they don't have true racks or anything like that, so it should be the same as it's always been. And they definitely were a thing at one time. So let's see, it was up to 282, I think. And he has 230, I mean, not bad. Definitely the best one that we've seen in a while. And just kind of drinking right down here in all this brush. Maybe we're kind of getting onto something now. We have yet another max weight Mustier. This one only goes up to 243, so no chance of it being a level 2 diamond. I have been told, by the way, that Kyla actually has a level 2 diamond, so it is a thing, and it remains a thing even still. I would love to have another one of those. It's always one of those cool things. Some species make diamond at level 2 often. The ones that don't, I always think, are just a little extra special. But with an estimate up to 243, this guy scores 225, not too much smaller than the last one, and at least nice to see a couple of big ones kind of in a row down here. So, despite the kind of promising end there with a couple of pretty big Mustier, my map unfortunately didn't seem to have anything big, so with what little time we have remaining today, I wanted to just try multiplayer and I guess, in a way, really put these spots to the test. So we're going to head through a couple of them again here during Mustier drink time and just kind of see if we can find anything good on a separate map. I decided to at least try to take advantage of what we knew from single player and come down here to the spot where we had the most of the max weight estimate males. And the first thing we find is a minimum weight estimate male, this time with a score estimate 0 to 54. So I'm kind of just curious to see what this can score. I think you can get them as low as like 6 or 7. And I don't know if we had one of those in the Hall of Shame from way back in the day on the old scoring system and stuff. I know we had them that low, but obviously that was prior to trophy lodges and stuff like that. And I at least don't remember having one anytime really in the last couple years. And for this one, we have a 16.4. That is pretty low. I believe 7.00 is the minimum weight. So maybe Hall of Shame worthy. I mean, 44-ish below silver? I'd say that's at least worthy of being added to the Hall of Shame somewhere. Well, one thing is definitely for sure. Doesn't seem to matter what map you're on, Mustier are just packed into these spots, so none of these are all that good. We may just take the 7 to 9 kg one again. He's obviously not going to be as low scoring as the last, but just for the heck of it as he walks into the reeds, we can try to take him out. This guy did make silver just barely, so not nearly as low as that last one. I am kind of excited to throw that in Hall of Shame somewhere. That's a lodge that we find stuff for and then often don't actually add the thing to the lodge, so it's probably about time we head back there anyway. You know, as much as it would have been nice to get a rare or a diamond from our about 2 hours and 15 minutes out here on Medved between single player and multiplayer, I do find it kind of encouraging that it's not just so simple that you go out and immediately get a bunch of cool stuff, but definitely as far as the numbers go, it is going to be possible with a little bit of time put in, and I think we're going to probably come back out here sometime in the near future and try to see if we can do a little grinding and maybe have some success with the Mustiers. We have one up there calling it the trees, but we did get the Hall of Shame Mustier, so we'll at least go back to the Trophy Lodge for that. And quite frankly, I would not be shocked if we spend a little more time on Medved if we can put another Hall of Shame Mustier opposite the one that we got here with this crazy moose from Layton about a month ago, but luckily no real promises were made as far as getting a diamond or a rare, but the amount of time we spent out there and the amount of Mustier we saw, I think that does still go to show is not that the diamonds themselves are any more common. It is just simply the amount of Mustier you can see in a short period of time just makes you that much more likely to be able to get a really good one. And I'm sure we'll be back on Medved again sometime in the near future. As I said at the beginning, I really want to work towards getting maybe a gold rare or another diamond for our trophy lodge, and hopefully that can be a thing in the near future. But anyway, that is going to do it for this video, so as always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.